Why did you get into the construction field?
It's a very interesting story, to be honest. I was actually into urban planning, urban development. I used to work with GIS software development. And we started realizing that no, we should not be hiring people from a certain business.
Or how would this help a construction professional in their field?
I'm sure PMI must have felt the need to get into specialization subjects.
How do you think a construction professional should prepare for this shift?
Accepting the fact that transformation is coming. The only innovative thing that construction did was BIM over the last many years.
Yeah. All right, welcome to another episode of Red Talks. And today I have the one and only Najmul Hussain back for another Red Talk.
Thank you, Matthew, for having us.
Yeah.
You always forget to not introduce yourself. So I'm happy that I'll introduce you, Matthew from Red Talks. Happy to be part of the show.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. So today we're going to be talking about professionals in the construction field, right? And I know you have diverse background in construction. You're the project manager for Dubai South, and you've been in the construction field for a very long time.
Correct.
How did you personally get into construction? Why did you get into the construction field?
It's a very interesting story, to be honest. I was actually into urban planning, urban development, having completed my geology or bachelor's in geology. I used to work with GIS software development as my background. And once I started doing some large-scale GIS implementations across Dubai, I was hired on the fact that I was a PMP certified professional back in 2007 to look into some telecom development at Dubai South. And we moved in from there to urban development of Dubai South. The master plan of Dubai South was being developed. For those who don't know Dubai South, this is the 140 square kilometer development within Dubai, which encapsulates the Al Maktoum International Airport, the Expo 2020 and other cities. And, we were part of the master plan development for Dubai South. And since we contributed to the master plan, we were asked to then further continue with the development of the master plan, which involved engineering and construction. And organically, we moved into construction. It's been almost 20 years that I have been performing this role. I graduated from a project manager to a program manager to a project director at Dubai South while I was there. I'm happy to see that they are now in phase 2 of the airport operations.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Are you part of that as well?
No, I'm not part of it. I left back in 2018.
Okay.
And they've just started phase 2 of airport development, I think, last year.
Right. All right.
Yeah.
So now when we look at construction professionals who grow fast in the construction field versus those who don't, right? What is something you've seen personally from your experience between both of these sets of professionals that is a big differentiator between both sides?
I think Dubai, for example, if I were to take Dubai as an example or UAE as an example, it's a melting pot that comes together. And this is a country that invests in large-scale projects and programs and strategic initiatives, whether it's the Expo 2020 or it's the Yas Islands or whatever it is. It's massive infrastructure development. The Etihad Rail is a classic example as such. So when we talk about these kind of initiatives by the UAE government, you will see that they need a lot of skilled labor and unskilled labor. And real estate and construction has really boomed in the UAE for the last 10 years. So when we think about it, there's a place for everybody, whether it's professionals from Southeast Asian countries or from Middle East or from Europe or from Africa. You need that amount of manpower to pull off this challenge. And when we have these individuals come in, then suddenly, again, what I told in my last podcast, different language, different skill sets. So there is always a challenge with people communicating with each other. And that's where I feel that, they could upskill. Everybody is an engineer. Everybody is a civil engineer. everybody's a mechanical engineer, but they still need to come into the business speaking the language. That's an international language. And that is the construction language that is followed. They need to understand contracts. They need to understand, estimations, variations, claim management. So that's something that is not heavily taught in the engineering business, in the construction business.
Right.
It's only when they come into the industry that the gap starts to become bigger and bigger.
Right. So this is a similar question that I asked you before. Now I'll ask you again once more, is that construction professionals who have a lot of experience in the field, right? When does this experience stop being enough?
I think when you try to break into the bigger brackets, for example, you could be a contractor for the last 15 years, 20 years. You could be a project manager at a contractor's level. Now suddenly you want to join a consultant or be part of the consulting business, or you want to be part of the government or the developer, where you move to a client role. So when you change roles, it starts to become a challenge, because people see you as a contractor, or you've been a contractor for 15 years, you speak a certain language, you're not fit for this side of the business. So I feel that you get stuck within your experience rather than within your domain or your industry. As a professional within the industry, you should be able to move into any roles. But in construction, what happens is that, you're a contractor, so you will remain a contractor. You're a consultant, you will remain a consultant. It's very difficult to move.
That experience is not going to help you to shift.
That experience, that language is not going to help you. I mean, I used to at some point in time, we used to hire from the contractors' sides, and then we stopped because they were not able to speak the language. As a client, they were not able to speak the language. So there were certain challenges that we faced by hiring, and we started realizing that no, we should not be hiring people from a certain business. So I think that was something that was there, and surely, the language was a barrier. Not the communication skills and other things do play a big role in this business.
So for construction professionals, do you see that professional certifications are actually needed in the field?
I think to a very large extent. I'll tell you why. I mean, I'll give you a very odd reason for it.
All right.
As an industry, construction is a very backward industry. What I mean by that is, like, it's not innovative at all.
Right. Okay.
If you look at industries that are innovative, you look at banking, you look at information technology, you don't see construction being a very innovative industry. I mean, I can give you two examples: agriculture and construction. These are the two industries that, in my opinion, haven't evolved. But that means that there's a huge transformation waiting to happen in construction. And that's just about to explode. And if you look at the IT industry, you can see how the professionals in the IT industry upskill themselves.
Right.
The amount of certifications they go every year on year. And if you look at the construction industry, once they complete their engineering, I don't think they move forward when it comes to upskilling.
Yeah.
They're stuck with their engineering degrees to a large extent. They may have amazing years of experience, but it's not relevant from an upskilling point of view. So I see a gap there. There are amazing associations. There is PMI, there is FIDIC, there is AACE. These are associations who have really spent a lot of time trying to build professional certifications in the field of construction.
Right.
They come up with beautiful professional certifications, and professionals should attempt to upskill themselves in that direction, so that when you go to an international market, now look at Saudi, which is exploding, and when Saudi explodes, and the way it is exploding right now, I mean, you can't go there with an engineering degree and 15 years of experience having said, that's all that I've done. I have no upskill that I've done later on. So I think that does not play the competition. Right. You don't stand a chance against the competition there. And with the transformation that is happening in construction now, I've always told this to my students. The banking industry wasn't changed by the bankers. It was changed by the IT professionals. Transformation in banking was brought in by the IT professionals. And transformation in construction is going to be brought in by the IT professionals. In the next 10 years, you will find more IT professionals sitting in a field more than civil engineers. You know, you are talking about artificial intelligence, drones, virtual reality, augmented reality, digital twins. So you will find a huge IT transformation coming into construction.
The field itself is just going to change.
And if civil engineers don't upskill themselves in certain areas, they will lose out to the pack.
Right.
And we have seen now lately small construction companies being able to fight with the big contractors, small consulting organizations being able to fight with the big consulting firms. Why? Because they are equipped with AI, they're equipped with digital twins, they're equipped with virtual reality solutions, which makes them equal to the big players in the market.
Right.
So the competition is now becoming, and that's something that you can see in various countries. Saudi Arabia, for example, you will see that there's no big five and small five. You will see that they are now closing the gap because of the transformation that they bring into the business. So as a professional, you cannot be left behind. You have to know these skills. You have to have technical and soft skills, but you also have to have the technical skills that are relevant in the market today.
So these professional certifications, they help you on paper as well as on site.
Yeah, I think there's a very simple notion. A lot of my students who attend my course on FIDIC, they don't come to the course because they want to write an exam or a professional certification. They are interviewed based on conditions of contract.
Right.
So what happens is that when they're interviewed based on conditions of contract, they fail to answer questions. So the entry point is a certificate like PMP. So they get the interview opportunity because they have the PMPs and all of that. But when they sit for the interviews, they are asked questions around conditions of contracts in construction.
Right. Which is
based on something like a FIDIC, red, yellow, silver, whatever it is. And then they fail in these technical contractual discussions. So the person on the other side is thinking, oh, he doesn't know.
Right.
Because in construction, the primary relationship is between the owner and the contractor. So the principal relationship is built on a contract. It's a very predictive contractual relationship.
And engineers are not taught this, right?
And well, of course, in the engineering business, they may have, but it's not taught the way it should be taught. And it would not make sense to you unless you come into the field and you face those situations on site. Then your claims, your disputes can be handled better. So we have noticed that one of our very important courses in construction is FIDIC, not PMP.
Right.
Because PMP is more foundational, more general project management, but FIDIC is specialized towards construction.
Right.
We offer courses from AACE, which is Earned Value Professional and Cost Estimations.
Right.
Which obviously is the need for for construction professionals.
Right.
I have seen companies like L&T, Larsen and Toubro heavily investing in AI for their labor management, for their cost estimations. And I see that this is where contractors are driving and upskilling their teams. And I feel that, amazing transformation is waiting to happen in construction in the next 10 years.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
So I also just wanted to switch up the topic. You did talk about PMP and you talked about FIDIC and all of this. What I wanted to talk about is PMI also brought up for construction the PMICP, right? PMI Construction Professional. How would this help your students, or how would this help a construction professional in their field?
It's a relatively new certificate. It's been in circulation for about 4 or 5 years, if I correctly understand it. But PMI has taken that initiative because when you look at the PMP, it is now very foundational. It's generic, addressing the broader project management elements, contains methodologies that are predictive and adaptive. So I'm sure PMI must have felt the need to get into specialization subjects.
Right.
So they have created a few specialization subjects. One of them being the PMI CP. CP is interesting because they have ventured out and partnered with other players in the market.
Okay.
Construction Industry Institute, Lean Construction. So they haven't built the course themselves. They've used professionals and associations in the construction industry to create this beautiful course.
Right.
And the essence of it is really contracts, interfaces, or interface management, communication, and risk management. So things that are very relevant in the construction industry.
Right.
Of course, there's a way to teach and there's a way to deliver the subject, and I think Red Learning is doing a decent job to kind of understand the perspective that PMI has created and try to kind of build on it and deliver it our way, where we mix the relevant topics, we kind of bring the perspective off the ground into the student and make them aware of how this industry is shaping up.
Let's say a construction professional came to you.
Yeah.
And he said he wanted to do the PMP.
Correct.
Right? Would you push him to do the PMI CP rather than the PMP?
PMP is still the gold standard, and people still are, heavily biased towards the PMP, and I'm sure it's got its own market value.
Right.
CP is catching up as the de facto professional certification in construction. I'm sure over the next few years, the market itself will adjust to it.
Right.
And I'm sure that the market will start acknowledging professionals with CP because they come from the construction industry. It's specialized for construction.
So we were talking about the shifts that are going to happen in the construction field.
Correct.
AI coming in,
Correct.
drones, all of the situations, right? How do you think a construction professional should prepare for this shift?
I think accepting the fact that transformation is coming. Accepting the fact that these are not words that we play with anymore.
I feel like the construction industry has stayed same for so long.
Absolutely.
It's going to have a big shift and people have to be prepared for it.
I think it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
That you got to go back to the basics. I think the back office is going to become more powerful than the front office.
Okay.
Because the back office will contain these systems. It will have all these elements, the tools that will power the front offices. So the sites will become more skeletal in nature. They'll be more about manpower management and labor management and all of that, materials management, whereas the back office would be more about cost estimations, variations management, claim management. It's going to be much more powerful, engineering and change. So I guess the PMOs, for example, could become a very important entity in construction because they could be handling multiple
PMO meaning project management
offices.
Yeah.
So project management office sitting in the back could be a different entity over the next 10 years, whereas they would hold the tools that we talked about now, and they could drive implementation and execution.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel that's where it's going, but let's see how it works out.
So for us to end off on this podcast, I would like to ask you a very personal question. If you had the option to give one piece of advice to your younger self who's just getting into the construction industry, what would that one advice be?
I would say that this is the best time for the industry. The only innovative thing that construction did was BIM over the last many years.
Yeah.
And now there's an avalanche of information and tools at your disposal. The younger generation is already aware and they will change the face of construction. They have the potential to do so.
Right.
So get into IT, get into technology.
Yeah.
Don't just be a civil engineer.
Right.
Combine your civil engineering skills, your mechanical skills with machine learning, data analytics, drones,
Be versatile.
Be tech, and it will change the way your career graph will shape up.
Yeah.
And always upskill. There is no doubt in my mind. I mean, you will now find guys like me, 50-year-olds, trying to compete with 25-year-olds because, we've created a gap of 25, and both of us need to fight at the same level. So I guess now the fight is even. We're all in the same. We're back to ground zero, and we need to build up. It's not just about pumping cement anymore. It's about making sure that you understand tech to the way that changes the way you deliver projects in the construction business, and don't be afraid, and don't be afraid of researching, knowing. Don't be afraid to build. I've always told my construction guys, the best day of your life is when you see your building getting inaugurated, because it's a feeling of something that you built with your own hands. It's a baby that you've created, and just use tech to build it better.
Right.
So good luck.
Thank you for coming aboard.
Thank you.
Always a good talk when we cross paths.
Thank you again, and I hope that Red Learning continues to deliver on the engineering and the construction industry. I know that Red Learning is focused on this area. They are coming up with some amazing courses there. So I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.